Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a little bit of browscaping. I thought that my brows needed a bit of attention. As you can see, they're very fair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my tinting routine and show you how I fill my brows in and make them look absolutely amazing. So to start with tinting, I use some professional products. So the tint I like to use is Balmasil. So today I'm using the Balmasil Activator, and the tint I'm going with is in dark brown. I like this colour tint because it's quite a nice cool tone. It is quite dark, but as you can see, my brows are quite sparse. So I've just got a few little bits and pieces here. I've got a little ramekin that I mix my tint up with. I've got a brush that I apply my tint with. This is just a cheap nail art brush I got off Trade Me. And I've got a bowl of water and some cotton wool. Let's get started. So, and I've also got some Vaseline. So to start off with, I like to outline my brows with a little bit of Vaseline, and what that does is if any tint gets on the skin outside the brow, it's not going to stain the skin. So what I use is just a Q-tip to apply the tint. So I start at the bottom and just make my way up, basically shaping the whole brow. And going along the outside and up here. Next, I mix up my tint. So I use just a very small amount at the beginning, about a pea size. So one drop should be enough in there. So I'm just going to mix up the tint, and what I do is I paint the tint on just like as if I was going to fill in my eyebrows. So I start off at the end and just get all those little hairs and just make my way in. So I'm just going through, just lightly through there. I get my Q-tip and just tidy up underneath. So I might just take it off now and see how it's looking. Being very careful not to smudge it onto the rest of my skin. Looking good so far. Okay, so the eyebrow kit I'm going to use to fill my eyebrows in today is the e.l.f. brow kit in medium. As you can see, I do like it. I've used almost all of the gel. So what I do is I use a small angle brush. This is the Sedona Lace 561. And I'm going to start with the gel. So the way I like to fill my brows in is I like to outline my brows first. So I start off at the beginning and just go through and outline them nicely like that. And then I will take it up to the outer arch, filling in the tail of the brow. And I'm just going to start filling in the middle of the brow and working my way out, pushing the product out. Maxie's just attacking my blanket at the moment. As you can see, Maxie has decided to attack my blanket, so it's kind of distracting me a little bit. He really likes to chew the fur on the blanket. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll just get another one if he wrecks it. And carry on. Filling it in. And just with the last little bit of product on my brush, so I need to make sure there's not too much product on my brush, I just come through and just do these little bits here. So I like to create a ombre effect through the brow. I like to keep it quite a bit lighter at the front and darker towards the tail. Like so. Next, I like to go through with a little bit of powder. I find if I don't use powder, often my brows don't last all day. I might have an itch on my face and pretty much wipe off my whole brow, which is a bit of a disaster when you're out in public and you don't have anything to touch your brows up with. So I just use a tiny bit of powder towards the outside of my brow, just filling in the tail and making my way through, just with the same application of powder, just so it's darker on the tail and just blends in lighter at the front, through a little bit the front. And next, I like to highlight my brow. I'm just using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15. This is like my go-to concealer. I really love it. I just find that it blends easy. I'm just going to use my Wendy Hill concealer brush. It's quite thick, so I kind of just like flatten the bristles and just get like a tiny bit on the end and just start off small and right at the front and just sort of like work your way along the brow. And what I'm doing is just sharpening it, and I like to keep the top more natural, so I just sharpen the outside tail of the brow, which is looking pretty sharp as it is anyway. Looking pretty good. And then next I'm just blending the concealer down. I like to keep the concealer reasonably close to my skin tone, just because it makes it easier for me to blend. And there you go, a nice sharp brow. As you can see, the before and after is such a difference. Yay! And that is how I do my brows. I will finish the rest of my makeup look off and show you guys the end result. And there you have it, brows on fleck. It's really amazing what you can achieve with a bit of tint and some other brow products. If you like this makeup look as well, make sure you check out the tutorial. I hope this video was helpful and thank you for watching. Bye!